we fall outside the Anandaganga, we also travel the same thing, same way, same thing. Everything Bhagavan says exactly same. Only thing, a subtle difference. We are awake here, there we are not available to witness the whole thing. And just the self is there, and it is only happening as a unconscious space. But consciously, for us to experience that as a reality, we can start living that, and we can start experience that as the oneness. Bhagavan beautifully says, either we do it consciously as power manifestation, as unclutching, or life happens to us very roughly, like it removes things very close to us and very important to us, showing us the reality, bare reality, in a very crude way. And that is the struggle, that is the pain, and that is the most difficult part for anybody, whether they are a king. Buddha was a king, but when he learned that all the kings or anybody has to go through all this misery, he understood first he has to get the conscious sovereignty before ruling a kingdom. Then he became the Raja Sannyasi, where he had 10,000 monks following him and getting enlightened. The greatest science is how you can experience the conscious sovereignty, the Turiya state, getting yourself ready for Turiyatita, for the Paramashiva to initiate you and pull you into the eternal enlightenment space. Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana, the Rishis, Ganas, Munis, all of them have manifested all these powers of Paramashiva. Here, Bhagavan has given.
Let's go to the Apta Pramana.
Beautifully given us the story on the Renuka. She was one of the chaste women. What is chastity? The highest integrity you hold in the one pointedness, where you surrender to anything as Paramashiva. Here she lived just in the deep devotion of Jamad Agni, who was the Rishi, and such a chastity that she held, the integrity that she held, that he is all ultimate, and such a devotion and such a beautiful space she held for her husband, in that she was able to make a pot with a sand, which is sand, the silt, like how you have a beach sand. She was able to make it even baked in the oven, and she was able to catch the water every single day and bring it. But one day she just had one glimpse of the Gandharvas passing by on the clouds, and she lost that 1 minute of chastity. So she lost making the pot. The pot will not catch like a pot for water to be held. And this was seen by the Rishi, and clearly why she missed it. They had such beautiful life that they lived as conscious sovereignty and lived as the ultimate sovereignty. The beautiful space of oneness, they lived as a normal human being. Bhagavan beautifully explains the highest space of oneness with Paramashiva in his own words.
Everything exists as consciousness. Everything exists is consciousness. I still remember I was 8 or 9-year-old boy sitting with two of my gurus. I had the fortune of having 4 or 5 gurus continuously making all their time and energy available to me. So I was sitting with 2 of my gurus, and the temple bell rang. The lifestyle in Arunachala is so beautiful. You know it is morning only when you hear the temple bell. You know it is breakfast time by listening the crackers in the temple. Every puja, there will be temple crackers. All the 6 pujas, There will be temple crackers. Only listening to that sound, we know the time. So the temple bell rang, means Nevedyam. The food is being offered to Sadashiva. Both my gurus immediately looked at me and said, go and bring the prasadam. After the Nevedyam is done, it will be given to all the devotees. It will be shared with all the devotees. They both were sitting in one corner and asked me, go and bring. I went to the place where they distribute the prasadam and waited. Puja was over. The rituals got completed and they started serving. And I stretched my hand and the priest gave one share. It's like one share itself will be almost like half a kg rice. In big leaf they'll give. And then the pujari was telling, the pujari saw before going to the puja that I was sitting with both my gurus, and the pujari is very greatly devoted, highly devoted to both the gurus. So the pujari saw and told me, hey, take 2 more for them also. They are sitting. Take 1 for you, take 2 more for them. I was a little reluctant because one of the boy and girl who were my classmates are standing in the queue next to me. They will laugh at me, taking so much, all for one person. So for this purpose only you are sitting in the temple whole day. That's the way they usually make fun of kids. So, and I know already they are gazing at me in the mood of making fun. I felt little pride. I'm from a big family, and again I've been told from beginning that you are from a big family and you have to behave yourself like that in the public. So I told the pujari, no need, this is enough, and I brought the Nevedyam to both my gurus. They asked, hey, where is our share? Did the pujari not give? As if they both eat. Actually, both the fellows doesn't eat anything. Very rarely they will touch and put 2-3 grains in the mouth and give it to other people who are sitting with them. No, you don't eat. You eat rarely. This is more than enough for all 3 of us. They asked, no, did that pujari give or not? I said, yes, he gave. He wanted to give. He asked me, take 2 more to both the swamis. Then they asked, why did you refuse? No, behind me, my classmates are standing. They'll make fun of me that I'm taking so much. Am I going to eat so much? And for this food only, I'm in the temple. They will tease me. I don't want to get teased by them, so I brought only my portion. Till this moment, they were very casual, laughing, smiling. Immediately, I saw Kupamal staring at my eyes and saying, go to their shop street and beg and bring the food. That's the word she uttered. They both own a shop. This means their father owns a shop. The same street where my father also owns a shop, and the whole street is literally ruled by my grandfather. He is the head of that whole association. So I always walk in that street with the pride. I'm a grandson of this guy, And all the shop owners are either family or friends. So any shop we enter and eat anything, whether it is jaggery or dal or anything in any of the shops is free, and we'll directly go and sit. And in village, actually, we know literally everyone's name. And it's a different lifestyle. But in that same street, I have to beg now. All will make fun. What happened to your grandfather and his wealth? They will ask all questions and they will tell my grandfather. That is the next problem. That your grandson is begging in the street, why you are not giving food for him. Of course, one good thing I had. I think this is the greatest boon Sadashiva gave. Just obeying the Guru Vak. I think that's the greatest wealth I brought with me, I tell you. The future may describe various things, as some may say my Gurukul is my contribution, and some may say the science of manifesting powers is my great contribution. Some may say science of enlightenment is my great contribution. But I tell you, the greatest thing I brought, which was useful for me, is surrender to the Guru Vak. If any of you feel in a very short span, in a very young age, in small number of years, I have done big work. Whoever feels, if you feel that, if you want to know the secret, I tell you, complete surrender to the Guru Vak, to the letter and spirit, that reduced lot of time wastage. The moment my Guru said, go and beg the same street, in the same shop, and bring food, I know now it is serious. It's not casual. It's not fun anymore. It means I have done something out of my pattern or out of the context which my masters are correcting. I tell you, I stood up, straight went to that street, begged, and brought whatever I got. Naturally, all friends, family, they all gave so many things. I have to take a small pulling cart. In villages, there will not be rickshaw, the hand-pulled cart. So I have to hire a small hand-pulled cart to bring all the items I got as bhiksha to my Guru. So I hired a small vehicle and brought the whole thing and put it at the feet of both the Gurus, and I realized, understand, that was one of the greatest realization I had. I should not be bothered about imaginary opinions of others. I tell you, the liberation that happened at that moment is still now useful for me. Next day I had a chance to talk to both my friends. They were asking me, hey, why were you going for bhiksha in all the shops? Did you do any prayer, or is it any divine commitment? In villages we have a habit that if somebody is sick, they pray to Venkateshwara and Kuladevata, that they will go for bhiksha and bring and offer it in the undi. Still we do that. Every Puratasi month, all the Vaishnavas, they go for bhiksha and take it and offer it to Vishnu temple, and Shaivites, every Margasirsha month, go for bhiksha and offer it to the Shiva temple. They asked, when both the friends asked me that, hey, did you have any prayer? Why were you begging? In the mind I was thinking, only you fellows are responsible for my begging. And only now I understand, you guys did not even have the idea which I was thinking you guys will be having. Understand, if you understand this one truth, the amount of time you are wasting in your life without moving towards your goal will be cut 80%. I am telling you. My idea that this is what they will be thinking, even though they are not thinking, and even if they are thinking, that should not be postponing or pushing my decisions and my actions, but imagining this is what they will be thinking and not doing what I am supposed to do. Please understand, this is one of the most powerful, sickening patterns in which all of us are stuck. Sickening pattern. Yes, if I worked on completion, I myself would have got out of that pattern, but when I am 50, I had that to work. It only took 50 minutes for me to get out. When I was going and doing bhiksha, I just know the pattern. There is some pattern. That is the reason. Some reason. Something is not right in me. That is the reason I did not take that prasad and just come and came back.
So beautifully, Bhagwan explained about the Guru Vak, and Bhagwan has given Guru Vak so many for us to get prepared. How he said to receive Devi, how we need to be taking bath, and how we have to be spending in chanting the Om, doing the Kumbhaka, Trineta Kumbhaka, and the Akasha, breathing into the Akasha and being in the space dimension, merging into the space. All these great signs that he has given, and how drinking the Tuduvalai and the herbs that he said, detox, not only detox, prepares us the inner space to receive the superconsciousness, the buddhi, instead of the intellect that we are constantly struggling and living with the impossibilities. These Guru Vaks that Bhagavan has given to prepare ourselves when Devi blesses us, each day when she blesses for us to be raised into the Turiya state instead of go back to the human space and lose out everything again and again. When we are ready to receive, when Bhagavan says even one word, it becomes reality in our life. Even if he talks for hours together, if we are not prepared, there are nothing holds in our inner space because we do not cognize it. That doesn't become a reality in us. And then we say why it is not happening. The deep surrender space for us to happen is very easily done by Bhagwan to not do any tapas but detox our body. He says literally our cells in our body, 46% is human cells, rest are all the parasites and bacteria and all kinds of things which are sitting in our gut and other places where which creates so much of reactionary assumptions in our life and only run our life in the reactionary mode. When we detox our body by eating very less food and when we take all these herbs, it removes the all the bad parasites that is not supposed to be part of us and leaves us with such a beautiful thoughtless space just by detoxing and doing the Nirahara Samyama, the ultimate gifts that he has given. And when we are doing the power manifestation, we poke hole into our self-doubt, self-denial, and self-hatred. Again, we prepare ourselves that we are consciousness by the very nature when we started crying and breathing. First thing when we did out of the mother's womb is the first manifestation. Other than there is manifestation, there is nothing other than that. And this body, Bhagavan calls it as pinda, the dead body, which gets life when the prana gets in, the consciousness. But we don't recognize the prana as prana. We take it for granted that everything functions in my body perfectly fine till one day it just pulls us out of it. And even the death is a delusion. If we understand that we can get out of all this, where what we need to do is simple power manifestations where we receive the prasada that we are consciousness, we are not just the body and just the mind. By doing the detox, by doing the kumbhaka, by chanting the home, all these things that he has given, we prepare ourselves to receive Devi in the bhava and manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. And whatever Bhagwan gives, then it becomes reality. Once you raise yourself to the Turiya state, Guru can just initiate you into Turiyatita state. Nisargadatta just got enlightened in few months, and so many references where just seeing the Guru at the first go, they have been enlightened. Ramana Maharshi just saw Arunachala, heard the word Arunachala, he was enlightened. They were so ready and so prepared in the body, and the mind simply starts melting down into the conscious space. Beautifully, these balasans, Bhagavan says, if they are balasans, they are come from Kailasha with simple integrity and simple obedience. And they manifest all the powers of Paramashiva so beautifully. And here the Balasans explain the greatest science.
Nithya Mahajayananda, and I had the pleasure of manifesting with a great group of Balasans. So I'm going to be introducing them. Ma Yana Maya, okay. Ma Yana Maya, Ma Ramesha, Ma Deepa, Ma Vedapriya, Ma Shivya Vidya, and Ma Parasuka.
Into the Aushadha yesterday, Swamiji told that no obstacles will be facing. The moment I initiated, immediately Aushadha yesterday, Swamiji told that no obstacles will be facing. The moment I initiated, immediately you guys will start manifesting. When he told, the confidence it came. So when I was sitting with my friend and manifesting, immediately the whole group started materializing Kum Chandan. By seeing the materialization, even I got very excited and decided to manifest, and immediately started manifesting body scanning, house scanning, and mind reading.
One thing that I forgot to mention about Ma Yanamaya was that I had wrote down a name of a deity, Ma Mariaman, and I had folded it so she couldn't see it, and she actually got the name within 2 tries. It was amazing.
So beautiful that the kids who manifested in the courtyard were amazing sight for everybody to witness, that extraordinary things they were able to download, they were able to manifest all that great science and materialize all that great science. Now Bhagavan has brought for each one of you in this courtyard. Now we are going to experience the power of mind reading. You can call somebody and you can tell them that you are going to be reading their mind for their thought currents or words that they can write down and keep it. And you can scan through third eye, connecting to Bhagavan Paramashiva, connecting to them and entangling with them and getting the words absolutely whatever they have written or the thought currents, and write it down in a piece of paper which you can verify at the end of the cycle. We'll have 2 cycles, and simply recognition of power manifestation is what is power manifestation. Nothing to achieve, nothing to do or not do, feel like, oh, this is not for me, that doesn't happen anything, I sat there for so many months, nothing happened. Whatever the mind is saying, drop the mind. If nothing happens, we have to make it happen. Bhagavan says, question the delusion, not question the truth. Again and again go back. I am Paramashiva, I am a $1 trillion kid in 84 million species in the universe, and how the 8 billion people, only hundreds of them understand Paramashiva. Everybody don't get recognized. Even Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi had only 16 to 20 people who recognized them as Paramashiva. They were able to manifest all the powers. Same way, all of us are blessed to be here today to experience the highest consciousness. Even if you have stepped in the first day as today, or you've been here for 10, 12 years, it is you who are Paramashiva. Whether you accept it or you reject it or you deny it, you are Paramashiva. The very existence, that is how we exist. And manifesting these powers is only recognition of the superconscious space, which is the very nature of us. The mind is only the add-on, which is not the very nature on us. The superconscious space, complete surrender to Bhagavan. And that is why every night all over the world, the one thing we all do is merge our mind into the consciousness during the deep sleep. And nobody is bored. Anybody gets up at 2 a.m. in the night, we are so happy. And everybody all the over the world is only happy that we have few more hours to sleep. Nowhere in no work we feel like that unless we are having some passion in that. But this is done every single day without missing over the world by everybody. Every being does it. So what is that is so special about this deep sleep? Why can't I realize it right now? That is the power manifestation that Bhagavan gives. So let's get into the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Completely merge yourself into Paramashiva. Sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line so that the Kundalini raises to your Agnya. The lower three chakras are only physical. When you deal with it only by detox, it gets cleaned. It's only for reactionary things. The third eye is the manifestation part, the enlightened space. When your consciousness starts staying in the third eye, it's enlightenment. When it goes to Anandagandha, you're in the deep Nirvikalpa Samadhi and you experience the ultimate. So sit as Parashakti. You are the Devi today and you are going to experience the ultimate. Sit with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands. Be in the bhava to receive her and start manifesting the powers. She has flooded into each one of us all the boons, all the blessings, and all the compassionate things. Now it is our time to receive it and manifest as powers to know that each one receives the prasada. So start absolute unclutching. Anything comes as a thought. The body or the mind is not what we are looking. Just unclutch from everything. Only hold the bhava, the Shaktipada, that merging into the oneness space with Paramashiva. Continuously, if you see an exercise on the TV, you entangle and your body also starts functioning that way, the science tells us. Now, if you entangle with a quantum space, what happens to your body and mind? That is consciousness, that is oneness capsules. When you constantly watch the oneness capsule and chant the Mahavakya from your navel center, which is the very core of the DNA. When the DNA strand starts opening up, you start going to the higher frequency. And when you merge yourself into the chanting, you forget the body and the mind and merge into the oneness space with Paramashiva. Yes, chanting continuously the ajapa japa, you will start recognizing the higher realities. And simply hold only Paramashiva, Parashakti in your third eye or any Ishta Devata that you are so connected with and merge into the Devata and recognize the space of oneness, the ultimate space, the $1 million space that you can experience, that you are initiated in this courtyard. Bhagwan's presence is very highly there in the courtyard because he wants each one of us to receive this prasada by himself. So let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Write down whatever is seen. Do not judge it. Do not entertain it. Just be recognizing your Paramashiva space, the pure, the compassionate, the ultimate, self-effulgent, the Sarvanyatva, the all-knowing space that who you are, the abundance, the auspiciousness. Like, you know, if you go to a bank, you will get $1 trillion and you are the owner of everything. And all you need to do is write a check and see what happens. That is all is power manifestation. You just merge into Paramashiva and manifest and see how you experience the oneness, manifesting all the auspiciousness and abundance. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely with the intense listening.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham,
Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up,
Paramashivoham,
manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Manifest.
So beautiful. Whatever Paramashiva has shown, please go ahead and authentically verify with the partner the thought currents or the words that they had written down or they were thinking about. You can share with them and verify. If you got it correct, you can share in the social medias that you are connected to. All these greater signs that Bhagavan is giving us to remind again and again, we are Paramashiva, each one is a Brahman, and each one can create the whole ultimate universe, the infinite possibilities, that how all these crores and crores of devatas live and manifest all the powers. Each one of us is the god and goddesses who have landed here to celebrate Paramashiva at his whole lotus feet. Again and again, we have the oneness space with Paramashiva. We can experience everything as auspiciousness and abundance, even as the worst state of our life. We can experience the ultimate oneness and bliss in us. All that the Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Dhruva, and all of them experienced is the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, and became the powers of Paramashiva. All that needs to do is recognize how our microcosm works. We can understand the macrocosm, how the prana becomes oxygen for us lungs, how the food becomes the blood and all the vitamins and protein. How all this happens if we understand that it is not just we are breathing and it is some random movement, but it is the consciousness which is happening as our breath every minute. And any minute, Bhagavan beautifully says, the most surprising is any minute our breath could stop. It could be the last breath, but we never fear that. Even if some friend says they're coming home, we are so paranoid. We know that what time they're going to come, how they're going to come, all the detail. But our breath constantly is in ticking, and constantly the clock, the death is coming, and we are not even recognizing that, because we know we are eternal. We are there when we were, before we were born, and we are going to be there after the death. We are there in the deep sleep. So we know that very signs, but we have to recognize that so that we don't have to go through all this violent death and all the birth cycle again and again. The greatest signs of oneness can clear all that and make us manifest. Millions have experienced that. All we need to do is simple integrity and simple obedience with Bhagavan. We'll have one more cycle. Just stay with Bhagavan and in oneness space, chant the Mahavakya, deeply enjoy the whole space. You are Paramashiva, the very nature that we are existing is Paramashiva, and Bhagavan is continuously showering us. Recognizing that beautiful space and in deep gratitude, surrender yourself to Bhagavan's lotus feet. He will take you through the most beautiful path to the enlightened space. Just again and again, surrendering to Bhagavan's lotus feet is the unclutching space. Again and again, when the thoughts come, be very clear, they are not the reality. That is all we need to recognize. There is something more than that which is reality. What is that? Who is that? Bhagavan says, that which you cannot forget, that which you cannot remember, but that which remembers you. And which is that? Who's that who is walking, talking? Be aware of yourself, be recognizing of yourself, be intense. That is all Bhagavan says, and you will catch the thread. You will know the Paramashiva because of your deep love and devotion for Paramashiva. The Jnana Vairagya starts happening as reality. Now we'll sit straight with the head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Put away your gadgets for a few minutes and chant the Mahavakya, deeply surrendering yourself to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Few minutes of deep surrender and experience the oneness. See what blissful things and auspicious things happen in your life when you surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet as a collective integrity, collective manifestation of these powers. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham,
Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up,
Paramashivoham,
manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the power of all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham,
Let the Amrita pour,
Paramashivoham,
let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Such a beautiful space. Now, please go ahead, open your eyes, and whatever Devi has shown, Paramashiva has shown, verify with the partner the words, the thought currents that you are experiencing as prasada from Bhagavan. All this great powerful cognition and power manifestation is to get us prepared to receive what we are asking in our life. When Arjuna was so confused and he said, I am not going to kill my own brothers, this is not possible, my own teachers. When Krishna gave the Vishwarupa Darshana, he merged into Krishna and understood there is nothing for him to do except whatever he prarabdha was. For a Kshatriya, it is a war. So integrated to the war is all he needs to do. There is nothing that he is going to gain or lose by doing the war when listening to his Guru, Krishna. All that we need to do, all that war that is happening constantly in us, surrender to Bhagwan's lotus feet again and again. And whatever he has given as Guru Vak, start following that and we can enjoy all the greatest signs in such a beautiful space. Thank Bhagwan. Whatever you have experienced, post it in tinyurl.com and /power manifestation and thank Bhagwan for whatever he's showering and how much he is giving each one of us the space to grow into the Paramashiva space. And whatever you can contribute to Kailasha, go ahead and contribute. Each time you contribute, you create a dharma. You support the dharma and that supports you. Even it can be as small things, but it really starts giving great result. A billionaire was sitting as a beggar to see who's going to offer him a bread. Everybody threw coins and were completely disrespecting. But there was a man who came running and gave him the bread and whatever he had. And he asked him, "Why are you treating me different when others are just throwing coins and being so nasty?" He said, I have gone so many days without food for my kids. So I understand when you say I need the bread and I'm so hungry. So that is why I'm offering to you. The billionaire simply wrote a check, $1 million check, and gave it to him. Whenever he understands that dharma that he has to support, he is protected. Again and again, all these great signs is in us, but once we recognize that is by offering and contributing to others' life. When we offer or contribute is when we are supporting the dharma. The me's that just gets dissolved into the Paramashiva space. That is the greatest gift that Bhagavan has given us, and following these Guru Vaks makes us the eternal space of oneness. So, with a deep gratitude for all of you and deep gratitude to Bhagavan and deep prayer, earning that I am Paramashiva to become the existential reality, holding that continuously throughout the day, that becomes the greatest science that Bhagavan has offered to all of us. In the deep gratitude, let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you in the next darshan or next satsang. After the next